When Betsy mentions that Becky will be joining them for lunch, Carla forces herself to grin. However, when Becky tries to swipe a bite of Lisa's meal from her plate, Carla's unease is clear. Becky insists that she's just seeking a sense of normalcy. Losing her patience, Carla snaps that it's obvious what Becky truly wants, and it isn't normalcy. Telling Lisa and Becky that they're being foolish, Carla storms out. Later, Carla stops by the station and confides in Kit, admitting she doubts Becky's story and suspects there's more behind it. Is Kit on the same page? Meanwhile, a concerned Todd tells Shona and Gary that he had an argument with Theo the previous night, stormed off, and hasn't seen him since. When Jake later arrives at the cabin and hands Brian a phone, Todd is further unsettled when Brian reveals it belongs to Theo. What could have happened to him? Elsewhere at the station, Kit is led into an interview room where he encounters Bethany. She explains how she left her London job, took her manager's car without permission, drove to Manchester, and now faces allegations of theft. Can Kit help Bethany navigate this trouble? Bethany admits to Sarah that she quit her job on her own terms and has returned for good. How will Daniel respond to Bethany's comeback? Also concealing her true feelings, Asha reassures Dev that she made the right choice in withdrawing her complaint. Finally, Glenda tells George that she has created a list weighing Christina's strengths and weaknesses. But when Christina shows up, she grabs the list right from Glenda's hand. Coronation Street actress Vicky Myers has been showered with encouragement after opening up to fans about a personal victory. Viewers of the ITV drama know her well for portraying DS Lisa Swain, a role that became permanent on the show last year. Vicky first stepped into the part of the detective sergeant back in 2021. At that point, Lisa arrived on the cobbles to look into the brutal attack on Nina Lucas and Seb Franklin, which ultimately resulted in Seb's tragic death. She later took on various investigations before officially being woven into Weatherfield life in 2024. Her bigger storyline kicked off when she grew closer to Carla Connor, who is now her fiancé. The pair, affectionately dubbed Swarla by fans, have battled through several highs and lows since finally admitting their feelings near the end of last year. However, their recent happiness over getting engaged was soon shaken when Lisa's wife, Becky, believed to have died in the line of duty 4 years ago, suddenly reappeared. This twist has given Vicky some heavy-hitting scenes to deliver, earning her widespread acclaim from Corey fans impressed with her recent performances. And now her efforts appear to have paid off, with the actress landing on the shortlist for a major prize at the upcoming Inside Soap Awards 2025. More than 80,000 readers have already cast their votes since July in categories such as Best Villain, Best Family, Best Showstopper, and Best Partnership. Vicky has been nominated for Best Actress, competing against EastEnders' Lacey Turner, Emmerdale's Beth Cordingley, and Hollyoaks' Isabel Smith. That's not her only nod either. She's also up for Best Partnership alongside Alison King, her on-screen partner. After missing out at the British Soap Awards earlier in the year, the duo will now challenge EastEnders' Angela Winter and Rudolph Walk, Emmerdale's Danny Miller and Ryan Hawley, as well as Hollyoaks' Harvey Verdi and Louis Emmerich. Responding to the announcement on Tuesday, Vicky shared a message on Instagram stories. "To be nominated already feels like a win. Thank you all so much for your amazing support. You're incredible. #SwarlaHataswain." Coronation Street spoilers: Bethany reappears, Theo vanishes, and Asha falters. Coronation Street has lined up some major twists next week as Bethany Platt makes her comeback with a run-in involving the police, while an affair gets exposed and Asha Alahan finds herself struggling to cope. The ITV soap is gearing up for a tense week with a shock return, a law enforcement twist, and a secret romance dragged into the open. Bethany departed the cobbles earlier this year when actress Lucy Fallon went on maternity leave. Lucy and footballer partner Ryan Ledson welcomed baby daughter Nancy months ago, and now the time has come for Bethany's storyline to resume. Her exit saw her move to London for a new job, but things didn't pan out, and she's now landed in legal hot water. She's not the only one facing drama, though, as Debbie unmasks Carl's affair, Theo disappears, and Asha faces difficulties. It's Kit who stumbles across Bethany's return when he walks into an interview room and finds Sarah's daughter being accused of stealing a car. Bethany, after quitting her job in London, took her boss's car without consent and drove it back to Manchester. Can Kit step in to save her? And what will Daniel say when he hears she's back? While one familiar face comes home, another goes missing as Theo's history resurfaces. After a night out in the gay village with Todd, Sean, James, Mary, Glenda, and Christina, Theo is suddenly spotted by a stranger named Owen. The two later cross paths again in the toilets, where Owen insists on confronting Theo. Things spiral when Theo roughly drags him outside and warns him to stay away. But the big question remains, who exactly is Owen, and what is his connection to Theo? The chaos continues in Coronation Street. Following a heated clash with Theo the previous evening, Todd confides in Shona and Gary that he walked out and hasn't laid eyes on him since. Not long after, young Jake wanders into the Kabin and hands Brian a mobile, leaving Todd stunned when Brian confirms it belongs to Theo. But where has Theo gone? Theo isn't the only Weatherfield local raising alarm bells, as Nina starts to grow anxious about Asha after spotting her downing drinks. Recently, Asha has been plagued by panic attacks and struggling with her mental health, especially after she became the target of cruel treatment at work. She endured a racist assault and a harrowing shift that left her shaken. Adding to the trauma, she was also subjected to disgusting abuse by a patient named Naomi, who lashed out with racist slurs. Next week will bring heartbreaking scenes as the paramedic feels more isolated than ever when she notices her co-workers bonding without her. Her secret doesn't stay hidden for long, as Dev learns through Sienna that Asha hasn't gone back to work since the incident. Meanwhile, Carla loses her patience with Becky during lunch when she tries to sneak a bite of Lisa's meal. Becky insists she only wants to feel some normality, but Carla won't hear it and storms away, branding both Becky and Lisa delusional. Later, she tells Kit she doesn't trust Becky's version of events, but is he on the same page? Across the cobbles, Abby and Carl find themselves under pressure after Debbie questions Abby about a hotel room card she's carrying. Abby claims it's from an old booking she forgot to hand in, but Debbie isn't buying it. Carl then slyly manipulates the situation, suggesting Debbie's memory loss is to blame. The deception soon unravels, though, when Debbie reviews the hotel's CCTV while investigating a theft and catches Abby on camera heading straight to Carl's room. Furious, Debbie pounds on the door. But what will she uncover inside? Whatever the truth, it doesn't bode well, as later Debbie gives Abby a stark ultimatum: pack up and leave number 13, or she'll expose everything to Kevin. Coronation Street continues Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes also available on ITVX and YouTube.